and love, peace and love. This is the Bubbly Love Show. Peace and love, peace and love. I haven't been on here in a minute, so I really just wanted to come on, say a few words, and definitely just start off with a general reading, share some messages. My solar plexus, like intuition, all of the chakras, it's just been aligning, and I just been having so much to say, so much to share. And at first I was going to create like a topic like I usually do when it comes to the Bubbly Love shows, but I spirit is just like I just got so much to say. So I was like, you know what, let me tap into the cards first, right? We gonna tap into the cards first. We gonna see what comes up, and then we are just gonna go from there, legit. And I'm gonna keep it brief, but who knows, who knows where we gonna go. So first I'm gonna start off with this Prism Oracle deck. So yeah, how y'all been feeling lately? How y'all been feeling? Let's see, what's the energy? This one wants to come out. Caution, right? Okay, right now is a time to be mindful of the people, places, and things that we are tuning into. It is a very sensitive time, right? So there can be people, places, and things that you have to be mindful of. You have to be cautious of. There's also this energy right now that we are stepping into a newness, like a transformation, snake energy, right? So becoming a new person. And it's important for us to be mindful that we're not picking up back old habits and picking up back the things that are comfortable to us, so that we can basically just be kind of stuck in a loop again. So we really need to be mindful and be cautious. It's like a warning sign of people, places, and things, and anything that is not serving your highest purpose. We need to really be strong and honest, especially at this time, so that we're releasing it, letting it go, so that we can really step into that newness, step into that new energy that Spirit has for us. What else? Ooh, boom. Rest right now. It is so essential that we really rest right now. It is so popular for us to just be in movement and thinking that, in movement, that's the only way for us to manifest the things that it is that we want. But a part of that movement is the opposition, right? Everything is about balance. So if you're in movement, true word, movement, traveling. So I just got the message of traveling, right? So it's like even in rest, your spirit travels, right? You're able to travel. So definitely right now is a time for meditation. Right now is a time to tap into your intuition, to rest. So write down your dreams. Get you a dream notebook, okay? And write down those dreams that is coming through you and for you, so that you can really gain clarity into what we're doing in life right now, right? Okay, what else for the soul family? Sweetness, right? So definitely being mindful of our words, being mindful of the relationships, be tapping into that sensuality, and that, there's this Jamaican reggae song that's like, and if I didn't call you sweetness, and if I didn't call you niceness, and how about sugar dumpling, then I guess I'll just call you nothing, babe. So I'm really getting very feminine, divine energy from this card, and really tap it into the love that you have for both yourself and others, but especially I'm hearing self-love right now, and being sweet to yourself. So not being so hard on yourself, being very sweet and mindful of the words that you're saying to yourself, and not being so hard and critical of yourself and of others, but starting with self first. Be sweet to yourself. So that can lie in the way that you're treating yourself, right? As far as how you're speaking to yourself, as far as how you're reflecting with yourself. Sometimes we could go really hard because we have these big goals and we're not as sweet as we would want somebody else to be. The message is that the same sweetness that you are, like in a romantic relationship, make sure you remain that type of sweetness when it comes to yourself, and don't be so sweet to everybody else that you're not being sweet to yourself. Let's pull, I feel like 2 more for this deck, and then we're gonna move in the next deck. I'm getting this one. Okay, reflection. What did I just say? I just literally talked about in reflection, right? So right now it is a time, like I said, for meditation, reflection, really journaling and tapping into what it is that you're doing now to create the reality that you want to have for yourself. It's also just this time to really go in and be still, to be honest about how you're feeling, the things that you're doing well, right? So like reflection, also celebrating the things, the accomplishments that you're doing well, and then also reflecting on the things that you want to change in your life, right? The things that are challenging to, you know, change some habits, going back into like the habits, right? Resting and that caution. Oh, true word. 2 cards just dropped. And yeah, so like really reflecting right now and what's best for you and what's best for the collective, right? So, and when I say what's best for the collective, I mean best for the people around you, like the community, right? So a few different cards just dropped, so I'm gonna just take one card out of this. This one is poking up. Anger. Ooh, sacred. Okay, sacred rage, right? So anger is coming up. There can be something that's happening in your life that you may be afraid to express that you are angry about, right? Anger typically is looked at as kind of like a negative emotion, but it's not a negative emotion, it's an emotion, right? And we need to make sure that we're giving ourselves permission to express this emotion. It is a valid emotion, and at this time it's important that we speak up to the people, both with ourselves and then also speak up with the people that's in your lives, like the close people in your lives that you love. Like if something that they did you don't agree with, it's time to speak up about it. And you can be compassionate and you can be graceful on how you approach a situation that may trigger you and get you angry. But it's like, speak up and speak up about it, because too many times we suppress this emotion because it's looked at as a negative, and really it'll give you the clarity to be able to see both yourself and the other person, right? The eye is there, so, and it's just like it's torn, right? It's torn because you're not trying to be angry, or you feel like oh, here, okay, hold on, a few messages coming up. So basically you don't want to try to be angry because of how it could be looked at. Then the other message is that your anger, right? Also being mindful of this card in the other sense, where your anger can be misguiding you. It could be misguiding you, what you see with your eyes. It could be misguiding you because you're moving off of emotion and you're not moving from an intuitive space, but you're moving from emotion. So definitely be mindful at this time of anything that triggers or gets you angry. Definitely speaking up, but then also making sure that you do that reflection within yourself first, to make sure that you're not projecting on anybody else, and to make sure that you're not being that your vision is not being torn in half, so like basically compromised because of all of the heavy emotions that you got going on. I know I said 5 cards, but I feel like it's more. Balance. Boom, last card. So balance is essential for everything, right? We literally started off with, okay, like let's tell a story. So first off, all right, balance, tapping into balance. What does balance mean, right? That means the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights. Nothing would be existent without balance, right? There would be no up without down. There would be no left without right. There would be no in without out, right? So it's essential that we're finding balance at this time. So when we're creating, it's important that we're also taking time to go within, right? Creating is usually some type of production. You're producing something, you're putting out something, right? But it's like, in order to create, you got to go in. Sometimes we can have like blockages, like creative blockages. But at that time, it's just time for you to do that inner work, to go in and really be honest and be like, you know, what am I feeling right now? Because sometimes when we have those blockages as far as like what we want to express, sometimes it's some challenges that emotionally that we're going through that we just don't want to be honest yet, or we're not ready yet to actually say what it is, because we are worried about what other people may think. People that we love, we don't want to hurt them, but then we in turn end up hurting ourselves. So it's essential that we definitely balance within ourselves, balance within our emotions, balance within everything that we're doing at this time. When it comes to even like death is coming up a lot, like as far as it being springtime and letting go of the old and in with the new, right? It's important that we can have goals for ourselves and to become this better person and you know, enhanced person, and tapping back into not even a new person, but really tapping into who you always was, real talk, right? And letting go of who you thought that you was. But also be patient and be in balance with yourself, and don't go so hard that you're angry with yourself and you're blinding, like you're literally your vision is being compromised because you're in that anger. And really just take caution to being angry and upset, making sure that you're taking time for self-love and rest and being sweet to yourself. Definitely be sweet to yourself and with others, and just reflect on what you got going on. All right, cool. Let's do this other deck. This is a chakra wisdom oracle card. Let's see what they talking about, what we really talking about. Ooh, can I make this up? Can I make this up? Whole nother deck. How did the last deck end? Balance. Bruh. Balance. This just started. Balance. I can't make this stuff up. And I didn't realize a card dropped. What's the card say? Anxiety. Spirit, come the fuck through. Anxiety is happening because there's an imbalance, right? Anxiety is happening because you're not facing something. Anxiety is happening because there's something that you might be angry about. I should have kept those cards out. But there's something that you may be angry about that you're not expressing. There's something that needs to get off your chest. Come off the chest. It needs to free up yourself. Free up yourself. Yes, the cards is talking. Let's go. Spirit is coming through. That's the thing. Spirit is coming through the cards. You know what I'm saying? No. Move. It's my dog. He be trying to go under the gate. So literally anxiety is coming up because you're not expressing yourself, not expressing the anger, not expressing certain emotions that is coming up. So it's created an imbalance, and that's why it's important for us to get in balance right now. The way that we cure the anxiety is that we come into balance. I'll also share I'm talking spiritually right now, but I'll also share like physically within the body some herbs that you can tap into when it comes to like anxiety and anxiousness in the nervous system are your nervine herbs. So you can go and Google like some herbs that are nervines, right? Nervine. And some of the ones that I actually have a blend that I use, and I have chamomile, lavender, rosebuds, and chrysanthemum. It's an amazing blend, right? I have those available, but then those are also just individually nervine herbs that is great for the nervous system that you can tap into as well, right? To just help you. But then remember, that's just literally within the body, right? We're talking about in the spirit also doing your work, doing the things that you love, so that you're expressing yourself, dancing it out, making music, whatever way that you see fit for you to express yourself and to get that anxiety out. Because I always say, like, there's no one way to do things, right? And everything is mind, body, and spirit. So for instance, if you working on anxiety, right? I'm telling you this tea, but it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna go drink the tea and everything is gonna be I'm gonna go drink the tea and everything is gonna be healed. It's like, go drink the tea, then go do your meditation, then go do your journaling. You know what I'm saying? Tap into what you're feeling. Tap into those emotions that you're feeling. Tap into what it is that you want to express. Tap into the root of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Mind, body, spirit, everything. You know, how is your mind? Is your mind clear, or are you feeling clouded, right? Like think how is your mind? You're talking about changing your soap, and I believe the reason why you're bringing it up is because you know, what we're consuming is more than just what we're watching, what we're eating. It's also what we're putting on top of our bodies, what we are just intaking in every single way, right? So definitely being mindful of the things that we're putting on our skin, the things that we are eating, the things that we are watching and tuning into, tuning our energy into. What you tune into will grow, whatever way that is. And if you just tuning into toxins all day, then it's just going to be a toxic shit, and you're just going to be going through toxic things. As I was pulling, this card came up. I felt to stop. So creation, right? What was I saying earlier? I was literally talking about create. I literally just said it. I cannot make this stuff up. So it's time to create. It's time to really tap into your creation. It's time to tap into your magic. She's also holding like a crystal ball, and there's all this like orb energy around her, right? Like all this orb energy around her. So it's like tapping into your magic right now. Right now, the way that you find your magic, the way that you find your manifestation is to create. Create, because guess what? Your creation is nothing like anyone else's creation. Me and you could literally be in like an art studio, like that I'm manifesting. I'm gonna have an art studio, like come through, spirit. So we could be in our art studio, right? And I could give you a red construction paper, give myself a red construction paper, and give us a bunch of markers. I guarantee you, having those same materials, me and you are gonna make two different art pieces. Bruh, they're like, you are divine, you are unique. There is something only you can do. So even if me and you were given the same materials, we gonna do something different with it. We gonna be able to tap into our magic and whatever individual magic that we have to offer the world, and then we gonna be able to come together and put our magic together and create together, and it's gonna be even 10 times as strong. Let's go. Can I make this up? Self-worth, right? I literally, before I came on this live, spirit, come the fuck through. Right before I came on this live, I just posted it. You may not have even seen it yet, because I just posted it. I literally, I got a message the other day on my meditation, and then I also wrote a poem to connect to it, right? And I'm talking about self-worth. I'm literally talking about you tapping into you and you knowing that you're worthy, right? And sometimes, literally the first sentence I said is that sometimes you don't know that you're worthy. I'm gonna read it right now. Hold on, because I'm like, sometimes, that's what I said sometimes you question your worth. Facts. That's what I said. Okay, I know what I said. Sometimes you're questioning your worth because I need to thank you so though. Sometimes you're questioning your self-worth because you have not received the things that you want yet. So now you're thinking that you're not deserving and that you're not worthy of getting these things. And really, it's just God equipping you with the tools, right? The skills, in order for you not to just manifest the thing that you want, but to maintain it. How many times have we wanted something, then we got it, and we weren't even able to sustain it? We weren't even able to maintain it. But guess what? That does not have to do with your self-worth. You are worthy regardless, because guess what? Even when you lose that thing that you tried to attain because you weren't able to maintain it at that time, because you were in a different space, you are so worthy that God, the Most High Source, the universe, however you want to communicate that energy, deems you to be so worthy that it wants to teach you a lesson. It wants to teach you a lesson now, because the only way that you're going to learn how to maintain it is and sustain it is the way that you know how you can't maintain it. Is the way that you know when you lose it, why you lost it, and what you did, so that when you go back in and you get the things that you really need or get the things that you really want, now you can maintain and sustain it because you know what not to do. Sometimes we're being showed something because we need to know what not to do. We're not just given the message like, this is exactly what you got to do. It's not black and white like that. That's not life. That's not how it works. Sometimes we got to see what not to do. And we like, you know what? That's why I ain't sustain that. That's what, you know how many jobs like this came, like, you know how many jobs I got fired from back in the days when I was a teenager? How many jobs I got fired from? And one of the things was because my ass was late a lot, and I was doing my thing at the job, but I was late a lot. Guess what? Nowadays, I be early to everything. I be early to everything. Because and in those moments that I'm early to everything, I realize that there's even more. There is even more opportunity that be going early, because when you go early to an event, for instance, sometimes you get to, or a lot of times you get to meet the people that's putting on the event. You get to see the people behind the scenes of the event, and you get to have an intimate connection with them before everybody else is around and they having quick conversations with you because they trying to talk to everybody. Then that ends up creating an opportunity for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm sharing that example to be like, sometimes you got to see what not to do so you can know what to do. Ooh, okay. Okay, hold on. Impartiality, right? Impartiality. I'm gonna be real. I gotta like use my context clues to know what that word means, because I do not use that word. But it's a woman, and has an orb on her neck, and on both sides is paint, right? Impartiality. So I'm thinking about in parts. Ooh, let's go. Spirit come through. So I'm thinking about in parts, right? So sometimes we have these goals and we trying to do everything like so quick, or we trying to like just rush to the end of the goal, right? And we gotta do it in parts, right? We gotta do it in parts. We gotta take little pieces, like kind of like a puzzle. You know what I'm saying? We gotta take every little piece and we gotta just start to put it together. Like a puzzle is not just one picture, it's made out of little pieces. So you got to take each part to be able to create what it is that you want. So you got to separate it. Sometimes you got to separate certain things. So like for instance, if you have a goal to let's just say you have a goal to sing, like sing is what came. So like you have a goal to like be a better singer, right? Instead, like what's a way that you can just become a better singer? Like you can start practicing every day. Then okay, what's another part of it, right? You can practice every day. Then you can start finding different artists that you feel like your voice resonates with. Then you can find different artists that you can do like higher notes and lower registers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you break it down in parts essentially to get to the goal. You break it down in parts to get to the goal. That's what I'm getting from there. Boom. Bittersweet, right? Bittersweet things. We literally just pulled a sweet card earlier, right? And there can be times that we can be bitter to both ourselves and to others. And when I say bitter, it means just maybe a little unkind, and like going back to just ourselves, the way that we're talking to ourselves. And also the message is like, definitely being mindful of how you're talking to yourself and not being too bitter. But then also like how life is bittersweet, right? So like for instance, we lose things and it'd be so sad. It'd be so sad. Like what? Like I'm always gonna speak for me first. So like even in like my past relationship, losing it, sad, right? It's so sad. It's so sad. It feels bitter. It feels so sad, and it's like, well, why did this happen? And why did it happen to me? But guess what? The sweetness come after, because I realized like, oh snap, upon my reflection, right? Upon my reflection, my meditation, I realized like, oh snap, this was the messages, this was the lessons that I had to learn in order to make me better. Now that I lost this thing, even though I was so sad about it and I was bitter about it and I was upset about it, right? Now the sweetness the sweetness is coming into my life. Now I'm sweeter with myself, right? I'm sweet to myself. I'm sweet on how I talk to myself. I'm sweet and I'm more compassionate and graceful on how I talk to others, because everybody is in their own journey. Everybody's on their own journey, and it's not for me to judge anybody on their journey. It's just for me to observe. It's for me to observe, and literally know that we are reflections of the Most High, and not to compare and feeling like I'm better than anybody or anybody is better than me, but just to be and just to appreciate all of the different parts of people, all of the different parts, the ones that you like, the ones that you don't like, accept all of the different parts, right? What else? Spirit come through. Ooh, impatience, right? Sometimes it's challenging though. So we could be a little impatient, you know what I'm saying? We like, yo, but I want the thing now. I want the love now. I want the house now. I want the car right now. Like I'm trying to be out, skirt. Like I'm trying to be out, right? But it's important for us to be patient. It's important for us to find balance and be patient in the things that we want. And that rushing ahead, the rushing ahead energy usually ends up in turmoil. It usually hurts us. The example that I always use when it comes to rushing, right? Because I always say, like, rushing something hurts you either physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Let's use the physically to put it into some perspective. Think about when, okay, let's say you got to go to work and you feel like you, or not feel like, you running late. Let's say you running late to work, right? Now you rushing everything, right? Boom, stub your toe. You literally just hurt yourself because you're rushing, right? You hurt yourself because you're rushing. Boom, you get to work. You still late anyways. You realize you forgot something. Now your meeting is about to be hurt because that thing that you rushed to try to, you know what I'm saying? To try not to be there late. Now you left the thing at the crib and now it's about to hurt your meeting because the presentation that you left at the crib was what you was going to use in a meeting. Hurting yourself emotionally when you rush into that relationship that you knew you should have took time. When you rush to be intimate with somebody you knew you should have took time. Ends up hurting, right? Because there's certain things that wasn't communicated. There's a certain level of a bond that wasn't built yet until you got into bed with them, until you got intimate with them, right? So now you get hurt, right? Hurting spiritually. How many times have we knew something that we're supposed to get, right? I'm gonna use myself like as an example. There's certain things that God has shown me that I know that I'm supposed to be doing. I know that I'm supposed to get, right? But then what I realize is that But then I start to physically start to do so much to just try to get there. And then now spiritually I'm overwhelmed because I'm trying to do so much at one time. And it's like God is like, I showed you these things because this is what you're going to achieve. But I didn't say you have to achieve it right now today. I didn't put a time on this because time is an illusion. What I said is that this is for you. Now it's meant for you to do the works and take the steps. Take the steps in order to achieve it. But this is not a race. What you racing for? If I showed you something that is for you, what you racing for? What you racing for? Let go of the ego to try to say that you was there before somebody else was there. Fuck that. It don't matter. Because guess what? Everybody can't go, and the ones that are going, they going regardless. So it don't matter who got there first. It don't matter who got there first. Because guess what? Whether you got there first, second, third, last, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, whenever you got there, guess what? You got there. And guess what? Each person, the person that got there first and the person that got there last, can still exchange with one another on what they learned. They can still exchange and build with the things that they learned on the journey. Everybody's place is essential. Everybody's piece of the puzzle is essential. Every one of it. Vanity coming up as well, just because what I was just saying, not releasing like the ego of I have to be there first. Or everybody has to look at me. I need to be the one that feels like I'm all-knowing. The omnipotence, right? Omnipotence means that you're not touchable. Like you're like God-like energy, like you're not touchable. And yes, you are in the image of God, but you are touchable. Shit can touch you, right? Like you are not free. Like you are in this realm, in this world right now. So if a car comes and hits you, you can get hurt. You're not gonna just stand up and be like, oh yeah, I'm not hurt. Like, no, you got a body, you got skin, you got blood, like you got bones. You're not, like, you're touchable. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't touch you. And it's important for us to not mistake our power for omnipotence. And not to be so into the ego that we're in vanity, and it's this thing like, look at me, I'm better than the other, I have more than the other person has, and fuck all of that. We all have something to give, we all have something to share. And be mindful as well, because there's a lot of like fake gurus and spiritualists out nowadays, and that's why Spirit has told me that I have to do this work, because I was running from it before, and I was like, but people just be kind of bullshitting sometimes and talking about shit that they don't even haven't even experienced. And Spirit was like, well, that's why I need you to do it, because you're gonna do it from a place of love, you're gonna do it from an honest place, you gonna speak up. I'm like, my Aries energy, like, I don't know how not to keep it real, I don't really know how not to be blunt. So I'm going to be blunt when it comes to me. I'm going to be compassionate and mindful when it comes to others. But when it comes to me, I'm going to still be, patient and mindful. But I feel like I could take a certain level of like bluntness, because that's like my language. Like I like blunt, straight to the point, get to it. Right? Because I know that I'm saying it with love to myself. I know how I'm saying it to myself. Right? I know that I'm saying it with love. So ensuring that we're not getting too caught up in the things that we can offer the world, that now we're in vanity, and now it's a disconnection from your higher self and your human self, because it's like, well, look at me, I can do it, they can't do it, I'll do it better. Like, let's look like, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. Like, no, you can't. Yes, I can. Right? It's like, stop arguing. Don't argue with nobody. Instead of comparing how good you're doing something, even if somebody else is doing the same thing, how about you just start celebrating yourself for doing that thing it is that you're doing? Just start celebrating your accomplishments, your winnings, your earnings, everything that you're gaining from it, right? Even if the earnings is not monetary, it's spiritually, right? Because let me tell you something. Spirit literally gifts you with the physical gifts, right? The monetary gains, the financial abundance, when you actually just start doing the work in abundance. When you start doing the work in abundance, then you can receive the abundance, right? But first you got to do the work in abundance. Every time that I'm on my mission and I'm doing my shit like on a consistent basis, when I tell you Spirit just got me, like I literally wake up to messages. I'll wake up to messages like, yo, I want a reading. Yo, I need you to come perform. Yo, I need you to come dance. Yo, I need you to come do art. Every time I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, every time I'm doing what I'm supposed to do in abundance, I get the financial abundance, because I'm doing my work in abundance, and I'm not just focused so much on monetary gain. I'm focused on spiritual gain, because guess what? I'm gaining from just doing the work. I'm gaining from doing the work, and guess what? Now I'm joyful. I'm joy. Now I'm joyful. I'm joyful in doing the work, because everything is working out for me, because I'm doing the work that I'm supposed to do. Everything is working out for me, and it can work out for you. Everything is working out for us, and being joyful because you're doing the work that you're supposed to do. So you're doing the work that you're supposed to do in abundance. Now you're receiving the financial abundance, and everything is just everything. You in balance, you meditating, you being honest with yourself. You're not being so hard on yourself, so strict on yourself. You are just allowing yourself to live in this human experience. You are just allowing yourself to express and be in this human experience. You are allowing yourself to love and connect with others and be in this human experience, and not to compare, and not to judge, and not to fight, and not to get loud, and not to have ego competitions, but just to be in love and harmony, justice. What's the bottom of this say? Energy. And now you got the energy, bro. And now you got the energy to do it all. Now you realize how sacred your energy is. Now you realize how sacred your energy is. How sacred your energy is. So you're not just giving it away for free. You're not just giving it away. You are being mindful right? You're being mindful and patient. Hold on. Now you're being mindful and patient. We're going to take that M out, right? I'm patient. Now you're being mindful of where you're putting your energy. Now you're being mindful how important balance is so that you're not getting anxiety. Ooh. Now you're creating energy, right? Sacral energy. Now you're creating because you've overcome that fear. You've overcome that fear of being yourself. Now you've overcome that because you know your worth, right? You know your worth. And you know your worth because you took time to meditate and to go into isolation. You took time to go into isolation, into hermit mode. Meditation, reflection within yourself. And now guess what? You joy, 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 joy. Joy is what you are, and joy is what you bring, and joy is such a wonderful thing. Spirit, come through. Okay, so now I want to share about what's going on with my life. Okay, let me share. So y'all, okay, I'm gonna talk about 2 specific things, maybe 3. I don't know, maybe more, but I'm gonna get to it. So basically, I've realized as I've been consistent in doing the things that I said I was gonna do, also the things that I want to see for myself, as I've been doing it, everything has just been so much in alignment, right? So I'll start off by saying that there's a time that like I'm like teaching and I wasn't performing as much. And I'm like, I love to teach and I love to perform. And I'm like, the way that I see my life is that I want to both perform and teach. Like those are the 2 things that I have to always do. I feel like it keeps me sane, real talk. And it's just what I love. And there was a time where it was like imbalanced and I was just teaching and not performing. So I told myself like, I'm going to start performing more. Just started putting myself out to the open mics. As I did that more and I just started to write more music, I got more performances. I got more opportunities. All right, next. I told myself like I really want to be more consistent and intentional when it comes to my yoga, my meditation. And I started doing it every day again and just really took it to the next level than I've ever have before. And it has been so healing, so revitalizing, so energizing. I feel free. I feel so in tune, so tapped in. And even though I'm on a self-love cleanse right now, which I always gain this extra clarity, and I've been like, yo, my intuition right now is on 100,000. But more than that, it's more than just like me being clear on my solar plexus and sacral and everything, because I'm not eating as much and I'm not empty, but I'm light. I realize it's because I've also been doing the yoga, doing the meditation. I'm allowing the flow through my body, so it's not like all this extra tension in my body. It's not this extra food in my body. So of course my intuition is stronger. Hold on, Max. Of course my intuition is stronger. And then on top of that, I'm doing my tarot every day. So and I'm like, my intuition, I'm tapped in. So it's like, because I'm doing the work, the inner work, it's now able to come out, and like I can produce it now, right? In a different way, like in a different level. Like I feel like I've leveled up, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this level up because, y'all, it just feels so good. It just feels so good. I feel so inspired. Like I'm just creating so much. I'm connecting so much with others, and I just feel so much in alignment. I just feel so much in balance, and I'm just so grateful. So I wanted to share those 3 things, just to share how us just doing the things that we love, doing the things that we see for ourselves that we want to be, will literally allow you to have the fruits. It will allow you to have the fruits. And going back to the message, watch my last video. More than just manifesting the fruits, learn how to maintain the fruits. Because it ain't, like, think about it. Think about if somebody just came and they just blessed you with a bowl of fruit. You got some cacao, you got some bananas, some berries, you got some dragon fruit, some rambutan, right? You got all your favorite fruits. Like, imagine somebody just came to you with like all your favorite fruits in a basket, right? And as you about to, well, actually, you take it up and you eat like one rambutan. But right when you eat one rambutan, somebody just come and just swipe it from you. They just come and take the fruits from you. How upset would you be if that happened, bruh? Right? So the message is that you want to learn how to manifest the fruits, but then also maintain the fruits so that you can eat and that you can share with your community. And then you can take those seeds and you can plant it back and create more abundance, more abundance, more abundance. Now, make nobody take your fruit, man. You don't want nobody to take your fruit, man. So more than just to manifest it, learn how to maintain it as well. That is the message. I bubbly love you so much. Thank you everybody who tuned in. I'm gonna do these more often because it's just what it is. You know, I changed the Bubbly Love show to Fridays at 5 p.m. and I realized, to be honest, the way how my life be set up, like a consistent time on certain days just doesn't always work for me. I really like this idea of spontaneity, but I want to create a type of system, like Taurus energy. I want to create a type of system where I know that I'm consistently at least every week coming on here and doing these readings and just talking to y'all and updating y'all. So I'm gonna figure out a system that works for me and I will announce it, but I do want to just give thanks for everybody who's tuned into my lives and the Bubbly Love show, and just really just tuning into like my experience and my growth and everything that I have to share, because it's fulfilling for me. And I bubbly love you, and I really appreciate you, and I see you, and I'm here. So if you're interested in a reading, if you're interested in art therapy activities, one-on-one counseling kind of energy, like holla at me. I am here. All right, I bubbly love you. See you soon. Peace.